We are the Fair Finance Fund. So we were started back in 2018. March of 2018, actually, we had a sizable grant to support first investments as well as operational capital to hire some employees and get the business going. Since then, we've incorporated as a nonprofit entity, and we raise our money through community bonds. So we issue private debt in 2 different forms, which I'll get into, and it allows individuals and institutions in Ontario to invest back in their community. And then from that, we put that directly into the investment fund, and it allows us then to re-lend it out to potential borrowers, anyone that has a focus in local food and farm across Ontario. So we lend all across the value chain, which Maureen will get into pretty well, as long as you have the social mission of local production and local selling. This picture here is one of our clients today. They're called Mulberry Moon, and they're based in Strathroy. We gave them a loan to purchase a well and a pack house and a few other things because they finally had long-term tenancy on a farm. So as I said, we lend to food and farm enterprises, including co-ops, nonprofits, for-profits. So however you're incorporated, that is okay by us. Your mission just has to be focused on the social purpose of local production and local markets. I'll just browse through this since this isn't the focus of tonight's webinar, but we raise capital, as I said, through community bonds. We have 2 bonds available, which are the $5,000 and $50,000 bond. Because of the economic situation that's happening right now, we've actually had an uptick in investments come through because people care about food and food insecurity. So we've closed down our offering as of May 31st and have people just be able to inquire directly through our website or emailing me directly. But these were our offerings till May 31st. So in 2020, we officially passed our $1 million mark. We have about 1.2 million of committed and assets under management, which is very exciting. So we can lend out we're starting to be able to reach our goal to be able to lend out 10 to 15 loans annually and make a true revolving loan fund. So that's very exciting. Currently, we have 7 loans placed, which are valued at about $425,000. With these loans, we've expected to expand or create 74 new jobs. And we have placed 33% of the loans in Northern Ontario, and we have approved to date about 65 applications, 65% of applications, sorry, through the preliminary stage. So the ones we have declined previously have only been because of us not being able to provide the amount of capital they want, or they don't suit the one criterion that I mentioned before about having a local focus. And Maureen can speak more to that, but as to be said, that our application approval rating is quite high, and she'll walk you through how easy it also is to apply. Additionally, what we did in 2020 is we launched the Rural Assistant Program. So Rural Assist Program, it's a new name, so I have to get used to it. Rural, all in capitalized. So it's mentorship mixed with a technical assistance program that provides what we're considering to be rural assistance to loan clients. And I should say also eligible loan clients. So we support with the applications, as well as once they get the money, we link them up with a mentor to focus on a specific business need. So we're going through how that's all going to be set up right now and launched. And I should note that our 7 loans to date also have mentors linked to them today. So we've already been doing it informally, and now we're building out an official program because we have the funds to be able to support that and create a database of mentors across Ontario to support with these specific business needs. And Maureen can also provide maybe some examples of that. It's really neat. Our impact that we want to see one day, so we want to reach about a minimum of $2.5 million of assets under management. So we're almost halfway there, which is to me absolutely crazy. Since we've been there since the dream and concept stage, it's crazy to think that it's becoming a reality. So we want to loan 10 to 15 loans annually, which would contribute $850,000 additionally in revenues to Ontario's economy. We want to continue to have strong presence in the north, and we hope that our money, so every loan that we provide, creates at least 1 new job. I should also mention that we do record and speak a lot about the social and environmental impact of our loans. So more than just the economics behind what we do. So we consider ourselves impact investors, and we do impact investment reports. So we do have our loan clients record and speak about the non-economic benefits that they're creating in their communities, whether that be increased soil health, reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, maybe marketing and engagement to youth, etc. So we work with them on recording that and reporting that to all our stakeholders as well. So Maureen will take us through the first program. I'm just gonna pass the control over to you.
All right, great. Thank you, Chelsea. I've also been involved with the Fair Finance Fund since it started, and designed the lending program, and then have been acting as the loans officer since we launched. When the pandemic hit, we fast-tracked an idea that we'd had to provide smaller loans. So this, in some ways, was our response to help potential clients through the Stepping Stone loan. And it's essentially a smaller loan, $5,000 to $10,000 that you can borrow. Very broad purpose. It's really whatever you might need to help you pivot or thrive or react to new markets, etc. in this current situation that we found ourselves in. So just a few ideas here on the screen, but again, it's wide open. Maybe not so much now, but earlier in the spring, potentially inputs. There's been a lot of agri-food money announced through MAFRA, etc., but a lot of it is reimbursable. So it could be that you could borrow from us and then use that to access the agri-food open agri-food opportunities are out there, and then you have the money to pay back once they pay you back. Also to access new markets, to go online, etc., or just for working capital. So as I mentioned, these loans are $5,000 to $10,000. The interest rate is 3.65%. And you don't make any payments until the end of the year. So it's a 1-year term, and at the end of the year, you'd pay back both principal and interest. So that's the Stepping Stone loan. In terms of applying, it's very straightforward. The application is on our webpage, and you can either fill it out and send it in, or you can even phone me and I'll help you fill it out over the phone, essentially. And there's a few requirements. You need to be a registered farm or business. You'd have to submit your previous 2 years of either financial statements or tax returns, and we would need a credit check. And then there's the application form on the web page, and then you attach 1 year of cash flow showing the final payment to us in the 12th month. So I will reiterate that the Stepping Stone loans, as all of our loans, are for essentially food and farm food and farm businesses at various stages in the value chain that have a social mission, environmental and social mission. So that's very important that information is that you communicate that information in the sections of the loan application where you're asked for that information. So the process is simple. Again, web page, submitted by email. I'll do a follow-up phone call with you if I have any questions. We do a review at our loan committee, and we disperse the funds. So there's no security on this loan. And if you are successful, not only do you receive the loan, but there's other perks to become sort of part of the Fair Finance Fund as our client. We have the Real Assist program with the mentorship. We have an amazing communications team, and we do a lot of promotion of our clients. So if you follow us at all on any of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, maybe you get our newsletters, you'll see that we do a lot of work in promoting our clients. And as well, every loan that we do, Stepping Stone as well as our larger loan, you will be asked to track your impact indicators and submit them to us twice a year. Now, this is really important because, as Chelsea talked about, the people who are purchasing the community bonds to, that we're then lending the money out, part of the reason they're doing so is because they're invested in this impact as well and in growing our local and regional food systems. So it's really important that we track that information. And then I believe we do a 6-month report. Every 6 months we do a report to them. And in fact, that kind of information could also help you in terms of marketing, et cetera, for your own business. So the information would be helpful to you for your own purposes as well. So that's our Stepping Stone loan. Let's go here. I'm just going to make a couple of comments about the impact indicators, and then Chelsea, you can comment more if I don't cover something. But essentially with these impact indicators, we ask everybody tracks 3 things: job creation, increase in sales of local food, and increase in procurement of local food through your enterprise operation. And then you select 2 custom indicators, and they could be social or environmental. And what you want to do is determine an indicator that's specific and important for your own enterprise, and something that you're passionate about or care about, so that you're going to track it, you're going to report it to us, but it also, as I said, could be very helpful in your operations or your marketing of your own enterprise. We have some suggestions for those social and environmental indicators, but typically Chelsea or Sally Miller, who's our manager, would also have a discussion with you about this to help determine the best ones to track. It's not, we don't make it onerous. It's fairly simplistic tracking that you need to do. Do you have anything to add to that, Chelsea?
No, that's great. I was just going to say, yeah, the process is quite simple, and our loan clients currently actually really enjoy it. Some of them want to record much more than we're doing, because now we're giving the opportunity that they have this Excel sheet we created for them, and they're like, oh, we've been wanting to track this for a long time. We use it for these things, and we don't have a formalized format for how we track it. And so they get a little excited. So we try to damper that excitement and say, spend 30 minutes on it. 30 minutes to an hour twice a year and you're good. But yeah, it proves to be quite useful, I think, for some of the enterprises marketing, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
great. And then just a kind of little summary. You make the payment back. This is a Stepping Stone loan. Payment back, principal and interest all at once at the end of the year. You're doing that indicator reporting. If you want a mentorship, we can arrange that. So some of the examples, I'll go through some of these pictures here on this map and talk to you a little bit about the mentorships that they have used. And we will promote your business and your story. So up here in the corner, we have Black River Co-op. They're up near Matheson, and they receive money from the Fair Finance Fund to build a 4-season greenhouse. They're tracking all sorts of interesting things, economic, sort of alternative, what do you want to call it? Paying, like alternative economic pricing, and like an interesting way of looking at value that is beyond money. And they had a mentorship through because they have a land co-op, through a land co-op specialist from BC. Kipling Ridge Farms, they're between North Bay and Sudbury. They received money to start a northern fruit orchard, and their mentorship came through a specialist in northern fruit, Ron Lewis, up in our region. I'm in Sudbury, Ontario currently. And then we have Mulberry Moon Farm that Chelsea had pointed out at the very beginning of the presentation. They had some mentorship through Ken Lang, who's a specialist in sort of resilience agriculture and permaculture. So they had some mentorship through him around building up their soil in the new farm that they have established. And then we have the Chuffa Company, which is based in Toronto, and they're making oils, milk, and ice cream from tiger nuts. And they, in fact, had mentorship from one of our team members in marketing, who has a specialty in marketing. So we pull the mentorships from specialist advisors throughout the province, as well as, if appropriate, members of our team can also act as the mentorships. And it's very much designed to help you. Like, if you need to talk to somebody for an hour, that would be your real assistance. If you needed somebody to do a hands-on, maybe help with an online store, that could be your real assistance. Or you might need a longer support over a longer period to come up with a marketing plan, or maybe redo your financial management systems. So we will either do it ourselves, or we'll find somebody to help you, and it can be it's all about you, basically, in terms of the mentorship. And that's for Stepping Stone loan clients as well as our full loan clients. So I'm just going to go in now into our full loan applications. It seems to be stuck. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so our larger loan is $20,000 to $100,000. It has a 6% fixed interest rate and has a maximum repayment term of 5 years. We can do a 90-day grace period at the beginning for repayment. The thing about these loans that I believe sets them apart, beyond the fact that, again, that you still need to have that social mission, commitment to the local food system, regional food systems, we do not take any security. And beyond that, just like the other loans, a semi-annual reporting of the impacts, the mentorship, etc. Now this one, because it's larger, and we don't take any security, there's a longer process involved. It's still not onerous, but your process is triggered by a preliminary application that you would download off of our webpage. The preliminary application is about 3 pages, and it's designed to give you a chance to tell us about your business, make sure you have the basic requirements, being that you are a social purpose food and farm enterprise, and that you have a registered business, etc., and that you're ready for investment. You've been in business for a year or so, you have a cash flow, a 3-year cash flow, and a business plan, that kind of thing. So you do the preliminary application, that's reviewed by the committee, and then we determine if we would like you to submit a full application. So the process for this one, you get the preliminary application off the webpage, you submit it, we'll let you know very quickly. It's typically like within a week. Once you give us a preliminary application, we'll get back to you and let you know if we want you to submit a full application. You then work with me to make sure your application is complete. We do quite a bit of back and forth, asking questions, filling in gaps, etc. If possible, depending on how things unfold, we'd like to do a site visit. One of our team will do the site visit, or if that's not possible, we could send a board member, or we could have a phone interview, essentially. But we do some kind of follow-up with that regard. We get a credit check, and then all of that is reviewed by the loan review committee. If approved, your funds are dispersed, etc. And again, you're back to tracking your impacts, potentially have a mentorship with us, and the semi-annual reporting.
I'll jump in for 1 minute here.
Yeah.
So I should also note we've done really quick turnaround times in the loan process. Obviously, Maureen's our due diligence expert, and she does it all, and she has the background in doing that at various I don't know what word you would use, but I'd use more progressive lending agencies like ours that do focus on character-based lending and do things right, that do things beyond banks can do, right? And that's what we focus on, and we afford accessible and equitable financing to individuals. That's very important, right? we're fair with that. Your level of risk isn't different than another lendee, and that's also a very important thing that we do. But we are in the business of lending, and so if there is timelines that you need to adhere to or whatever, just write that up front so that we can try to work with you and get any loan process that needs to be in a specific timeline as well. So we're here and we're available. We can't obviously do something in 2 days or 1 day, but I should just note, I know Maureen has worked with other loan clients to get things processed when we know that there's a time commitment.
Mm-hmm. I would also say that sometimes through the process of examining your materials in a loan application, that it sometimes can be lengthy, but through that, we're also essentially mentoring some of our clients to get them investment ready when there's not like a potential deadline. Because I've also had clients that I've worked with for 6 months before they were satisfied, and I was satisfied that the loan was ready to be approved. So it can go both ways. But there's value in that process as well. So I think that sums it up. Here's our contact information, our emails for myself and for Chelsea.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for your time.